Hello, welcome to another GoPDM. So today we are going to talk about Alexis Sanchez. Apparently, a deal with Inter Milan, personal deals with Inter Milan has already been agreed, leaving only Manchester United and Inter Milan to thrash out a loan deal for him. I mean, at this point, it seems to be a loan deal. So there's been a lot of split opinions about Alexis Sanchez, whether he's good enough for Manchester United, whether we need him to stay or not, whether this move away, whether we need to get rid of Alexis Sanchez or actually keep him. So here are my three reasons why we actually need to get rid of Alexis Sanchez. And the reason number one is that Alexis Sanchez is on decline. He is just not good enough. Three goals in 1.5 seasons shows us what he's not doing at Manchester United. He's bought to assist, he's bought to score goals, but he has done none of those. Anthony Martial plays much better on the left wing. Now he got number 9, he'll be running through the middle and he will be interchanging with Rashford. Both of them got more goals in half a season than Alexis Sanchez, and Martial and Rashford has always been playing on the left side of the wing, and they have assisted more, they have scored more goals than Alexis Sanchez in the same period of time. So what I'm saying is that his pace has also dropped, meaning that he's not as good for us on the left wing anyway. So if a lot of talk has been surrounding that, if we let him go, we will not have enough depth to cover Rashford and Martial should they get injured. We still have Gomez, we still have Greenwood, we still have Chong to come in, and Lingard, not to mention. Even Lingard plays better than Alexis Sanchez. Lingard runs as much as Sanchez, but it's faster than Sanchez, and he again has got more goals than Sanchez. And in pre-season, Greenwood scored 2 goals. That's almost as much as Alexis Sanchez in 1.5 season, but Greenwood has only played during the preseason for our first team. And as we can see in the Wolf game, Greenwood has been brought in on the bench to sub in whenever needed. That means he is a big plan in Ole Gunnar's team. Daniel James, I forgot about Daniel James. Daniel James scored 7 three goals for Swansea and assisted 7 in 1 season in Championship, and that is already better than Sanchez in 1.5 season. So he's on the decline, and this deal makes a lot of sense. I mean, getting rid of him to Inter Milan make a lot of sense. Probably at a slower league, he will be able to be the old Alexis Sanchez again. So yeah, Italy is a good place for a lot of players to retire to. Lukaku is going to score a lot of goals in Inter Milan. People say we are going to miss his goal, but that is in the Italy league. He is going to score a lot of goals because he's a flat track bully. He doesn't need to be involved in the build-up play, and there's going to be a lot of crosses coming in, and probably it's going to be good, Alexis Sanchez on the wing sending him crosses, because Inter Milan doesn't have the personnel. But we do. We have Rashford, we have Martial, we have Greenwood, we have Chong, we have Gomez. Yes, these players are young players. They are not coming in to play day in, day out. They cannot. But is Alexis Sanchez going to play day in, day out for Manchester United? Even if Rashford is injured, it's not going to be Sanchez is going to replace him. So it's going to be Greenwood, it's going to be Lingard. So what I'm saying is that he's on the decline. His pace, his speed has definitely dropped. He's not suitable to play on the wing anymore. And the reason he did well for Chile in the Copa America is just because it's not such a, I mean, the competition that he went against, the opposition that went against, is just not as good as the Premier League players that we have. So in Premier League, it's a tough game, and that's why I see Sanchez will not be able to adapt himself to Premier League games anymore, and moving to Italy, it's a very, very good switch for him. And the reason number 2 is that he is not going to be okay with a bench role, because as you can see, Martial and Rashford are going to start up front. They are going to interchange either as a striker or on the left wing. So where does that put Alexis Sanchez? When he came in, he's supposed to play on the right wing. It didn't happen, and he took time development time away from Anthony Martial by taking up the left wing. So that is one thing that I think a lot of fans disagree with Jose Mourinho a lot, because before that, Anthony Martial was the player of the month for 3 consecutive months. So that doesn't make sense. So now Ole Gunnar has come in, meaning that he is going to be on the bench. He's not going to play on the left wing because that's Anthony Martial and Rashford's spot. He's not going to play as a striker. Again, that's Rashford and Martial's spot. So where does that put him? On the bench. And is he going to be okay with that? The thing is, with Alexis Sanchez, he has a lot of pride in him. He has been the main focal point of Arsenal's attack. And now that he has lost his pace, he's on a decline. Can he accept a bench role? He is our Premier League best paid player. At 500,000 per week, he is the best paid player in Premier League, and his role is on the bench. What does that tell you about Sanchez? He's not going to be happy with that. He's not going to stay around just like Lukaku. He's not going to stay around and see youngsters after youngsters coming before him. You see, if he adapts his game to attacking midfield, maybe I can see some creativity that we lack in the attacking midfield role. But the thing is, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer just want to change the mood, change the goal around Manchester United, the atmosphere around Manchester United, the changing, what is their vision, which is youngsters, exciting youngsters, and he wants these youngsters to attack with pace, and Sanchez doesn't have pace. So probably only in the smaller games, in the not so important games or games against weaker teams, that Sanchez might be sub in, or in the Carling Cup he might start game. But the thing is, again, he's going to take time away from our youngsters, and he's on the bench. He's going to be on the bench a lot. Will he be happy? And I don't think, because of his superstars status, I don't think he's going to be happy with the role at all. And an unhappy player is not going to play for the badge, full stop. And that's the reason why I don't think Alexis Sanchez will suit Manchester United going forward, because he's just not going to be happy, and an unhappy player is not going to help the team. It's not. He's not going to be playing well with his teammate. He's not going to be able to pull off passes. He won't be having the camaraderie with other teammates. So if Sanchez unhappy, then we just have to move him on, just like Lukaku, move him on, and to Inter Milan too. And the reason number 3, and I think I've been talking a lot about Greenwood, Gomez, Chong. Reason number 3 is just that we have to give our youth chance. I think we have a lot of discussion, and the only thing that a lot of people are still hoping Sanchez to stay is that if Rashford is injured, if Martial is injured, Greenwood cannot play day in, day out. Gomez and Chong cannot have a consistent starting role. And what if I tell you they can? They can have consistent starting role. Chong is 20 years old. Greenwood is 18, and he has scored a lot of goals in the reserve team. Of course, we don't take reserve team. We do not talk about games in reserve team, because any players that do well in reserve team may not do well in the real EPL, because it's such a big leap. But the thing is, if we do not give a chance to Greenwood, if we do not give a chance to Gomez and Chong to start games, how do we know that they are not good enough? And as per the pre-season show, the maturity level is very, very high, and they have done a really, really good job against, okay, maybe Perth Glory is a pushover, but we have Leeds, we have Tottenham, we have Inter Milan. We played against them and we won. And all of the goals during pre-season are either scored or assisted by a youth academy, whether it's Marcus Rashford, whether it's Lingard, whether it's Greenwood, Chong, Gomez. All of them play pivotal roles during the preseason. Of course, there's not a lot of we cannot really bring preseason into discussion when it comes to real games in the Premier League. But the thing is, if we don't give them chance, how do we know that they're not good enough? Like I said, Sanchez, if we are winning game, it doesn't matter, because he's not going to be part. He's not going to be part of a team that helps to win game. If we are losing games, then what can Sanchez do? He scored 3 goals in 1.5 season. I can tell you, Greenwood, Chong, and Gomez will be able to do better than Sanchez can in the English Premier League at the moment. So if our attacking midfield is out, we have Gomez. and I actually wanted Gomez to start ahead of Mata. And on the right side of the pitch, we have Greenwood to come in. Number nine, Marshall getting injured. Rashford. If not, we have Greenwood again. Chong on the flanks. So I'm very, very excited where this youngster will be able to bring Manchester United in the future. But the solution is not going to be in the name of Alexis Sanchez. Again, we have to stop. He has taken away development time from Anthony Martial. So stop taking away time from the youngsters that are going to be an important part of Manchester United in the future. Because if we continue to give time to old players, to experienced players, but not good enough experienced player, then Gomez might go to Barcelona. He has been said during the transfer season, and I don't want this to happen. So at the end of the day, yeah, Sanchez has to go to give time to our youth. So again, have to reiterate that Alexis Sanchez is on the decline. He has lost pace. He's not the player he was at Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal is happy to get rid of him, and Manchester City dodged a real bullet there. 1.5 season, 3 goals. He's not going to be happy on the bench. That's my second reason. And an unhappy player just not good enough in a team, and he's going to take time away from our youth, and I want to see our youth. This season has always been our developing our youth, getting them game time, giving them game time, and see how they perform. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, Sanchez has to go. If Inter Milan comes in for him, we will thank Inter Milan for taking Lukaku off our hand and taking away a very, very expensive mistake in Sanchez away from us. We have to subsidize the deal, yes, because he's on ridiculous fees, but he has to go. And then we will see a much happier dressing room. So that's all from me today. That's 3 reasons why we should let Alexis Sanchez go. So if you want to join in the discussion, please leave your comments below, because I know you have your opinions. I'm sure some of you doesn't want Sanchez to go. Again, you want him ahead of us. Greenwood ahead of Chong, ahead of Gomez. Tell me why. Tell me what's the reason you want Alexis Sanchez to stay. Yeah, that's all from me. Peace out. This is United Coffee.